Specialties Club in New South Wales. Well, the next fight promises to be a ripper. We've got Lou Cafaro up against Craig Trotter. Let's have a preview.
Craig Trotter is a young fighter with all the attributes to become a major force in Australian boxing. At the age of 19, he has developed into a well-rounded and very confident boxer possessing quick hands, decent power and the ring smarts to cause more than a few headaches for any opponent. Now at a stage where he's ready to fight for an Australian title, a win will not only increase his national recognition, but also open the door to the international arena. The man he faces, Lou Cafaro, has one aim, and that's to become the best middleweight, not just in Australia, but the world. Desperate to regain his footing after a demoralising loss to world-rated Hugo Corti earlier this year, he sees Trotter as the man standing between him and a rematch with the Argentinian champ. So this one could turn into a real brawl. Trotter, who isn't afraid to mix it up, will be well advised to stay out of Cafaro's range. His plan should be to use his jab and movement to frustrate the West Australian, while Cafaro will be keen to pin Trotter on the ropes, looking to unload his bombs and set himself back on the track to success.
Oh, what a fight this promises to be. It could be a brawl. And as I said earlier on, it's really the moment of truth for Craig Trotter. And we've got a lot of our friends over there in Western Australia with particular interest in this fight because their hero, Lou Cafaro, as we just mentioned, incredible knockout record. And, well, this is also the crossroads for his career too. Very important fight for both fighters. To tell us more, here's Peter Peters and Grantley Keezer.
Thanks, Graham. Well, the Australian middleweight title up for grabs tonight, and what a fight this is going to be. Lou Cafaro from Western Australia up against the boy with the looks of a model, Craig Trotter from Victoria. Grantley Keezer, this one should be a heck of a fight as we look at the tail of the tape.
There's the tape, Zorb. Lou Cafaro, 7 years older. He's something of a veteran now. The weight's very, very similar, just under 11 stone 6. Height's very, very similar. Both guys around 5 feet 10. And the reach, Cafaro having about 3-inch reach advantage. Just before these guys came into the ring, Zorb, we of course had a tribute for Clive Greedy, the great boxing official from the Newcastle area who passed away very, very suddenly and tragically on an overseas trip. A great man for boxing, Clive Greedy, and his death has saddened a lot of people in Australia.
Certainly has. Wonderful man for boxing. And, well, all the clubs around the nation and hotels taking to his fight nights tonight. And, of course, Registered Clubs Association annual meeting here at the Central Coast Leagues Club tomorrow. And lots of marvellous clubs right around New South Wales, Queensland, and right around the nation taking the fights tonight. The Kirribilli Ex-Services Club, great followers of all the Sky Channel Bill Morty classic promotion fights. And to Alan and Val, two of the chiefs there at the Kirribilli Ex-Services Club, a very good evening to you. And they get marvellous crowds there, biggest crowd ever. Of course, at the Kirribilli Ex-Services was one of the recent Jeff Fennick fights conducted by Sky Channel, and I'm sure a big crowd in there tonight, as at a lot of the clubs right around New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria, Queensland, and up in the Northern Territory too. Of course, they love their fights there too. Brought to you on Sky Channel by 2E's. Let's go to the ring announcer, Ray Conley.
In association with Sky Channel, 2E's presents a contest scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds for the Middleweight Championship of Australia between, from the red corner, scaling 71.90 kilograms, wearing black trunks with white band and pipings, hailing from Mount Lawley, Perth, Western Australia, former national junior middleweight king. Twice he has won the national middleweight crown, making the first defense in his second reign of that championship, victorious in 14 of 17 professional bouts, 12 by knockout, Lou Cafaro. And his opponent, occupying the blue corner, scaling 72.55 kilograms, wearing black trunks with white markings from Ferntree Gully, Melbourne, Victoria, 3 times National Junior Amateur Champion. As a professional, has won 11 of 13 contests, 7 by knockout. Challenger, Craig Trotter. To referee, Johnny Wright. Ringside judges, Billy Males, Brian McMahon, Des Bloyd.
You both got your shields on, boys. We spoke in the dressing room about the rules, so you know exactly what I want. I want you to obey exactly what I told you in the dressing room. Both understand, no questions. Shake hands, good luck to both of you. Protect yourselves at all times.
Johnny Wright, the referee, very competent referee, Johnny. And, well, the moment of truth for good-looking Craig Trotter tonight. Will he be as good-looking after the knockout king, Lou Cafaro? Well, he's the man from Western Australia that they're all predicting will be too strong for Craig Trotter tonight. There's Cafaro.
Well, Cafaro, of course, the raging favourite for this fight, Zorb. He's a hard man of almost legendary proportions in Perth. He spent a lot of time, he doesn't mind admitting it, he spent a lot of time in jails and reform schools in Perth, but he's on the straight and narrow, and he's looking for a world title shot. His title plans were upset a little bit by Hugo Corti, the Argentinian, the WBC international champion, and Cafaro looking to beat Trotter to gain a rematch with that man Hugo Corti. Trotter, of course, is the guy with the baby blue eyes and the Jack Dempsey haircut. Very, very smart boxer, as his looks suggest. He's certainly no brawler, and Cafaro's tactics tonight are going to be to try and brawl this man, Craig Trotter, out of the fight.
Okay, so Cafaro with the black shorts with white piping and all black for Craig Trotter, son of the headmaster down there in Ferntree Gully in Victoria. And Lou Cafaro, as Grantley said, certainly is strayed from the path that most of us take, but he's on the straight and narrow now and looking to present himself with a good career in boxing.
Well, the dividing line between these two guys, I guess, is that Craig Trotter has fought an Australian champion twice in Ronald Dew, and he lost both of those fights. The last fight, of course, was a very controversial ending. It was a cut eye, and Ronald Dew was ahead on points, so he won a technical decision. Cafaro, on the other hand, he's hammered a lot of guys. He's beaten Doug Sam, Emmanuel Lotti, Joe Nativa. He's a very, very capable fighter, and as that knockout record suggests, 12 knockout wins in 14 victories. He's a guy with a big punch in either hand.
Certainly is. This is the first time we've seen him to his fight night, but certainly we've heard a lot about him and seen a lot of him on Boxers World every Wednesday night on Sky Channel. Good left by Craig Trotter, working the left well, and that's what he's got to do against very tough and very hard-punching Lou Cafaro, who's walking up after Craig Trotter in this towards the end of round 1.
Cafaro seems content to take Trotter's jab and try and set himself up for that big right hand left hook. You see Cafaro trying to go to the body there, but Craig Trotter showing very, very nimble feet, getting out of danger.
Well, obviously Trotter wanting to get this fight into the latter stages and hoping that his fitness can... Well, last time we saw Craig Trotter, he was very impressive against an Indonesian that, quite frankly, I think you could have beaten, Grantley.
Well, that could be a big rap or a low rap, Zor, I'm not sure. Certainly was no great shakes. The Ricardo, the guy with one name that Craig Trotter put out of business in 4 rounds down in Wagga.
Certainly. And there's Craig Trotter now poking out the left. Cafaro certainly looking in this first round to be much more the aggressor. He's going after his younger opponent, 27 years of age, Lou Cafaro, against 20-year-old Craig Trotter.
Well, Trotter proving to be a bit hard to find though Lou Cafaro gets him with the jab. Cafaro doing a lot of chasing, just caught left jab, right hand from Craig Trotter. Gee, that spurred Trotter on a little bit.
Certainly did, but he didn't appear to really go through with that right punch. It was nice and crisp and neat, but it wasn't a real ding-dong right, was it?
Well, he's still finding his range, I guess, Zorb. He's in against a guy who can punch, so he's not going to stand flat-footed with him just yet.
It was almost tentative, Grantley, as though he didn't realise that he nailed him with a beautiful punch.
Well, in that round, of course, Craig Trotter doing his level best not to get caught. You see him Cafaro up on the toes, and there's Craig Trotter coming through with the right hand there. Not setting his feet perfectly, but once again, you know, it's still in round one, so he's going to have a good look at Luke Cafaro before he starts putting a lot of weight behind his punches.
It'll certainly do his confidence a world of good, because the young fellow, well, he's certainly entitled to be a little bit overawed by the experience and the power and the record of Luke Cafaro. 14 victories, 12 by KO.
That's right, and some of those KOs, as I was saying, Zorb, have been against very impressive performers. Both these guys have really good men behind them in the corner. Cafaro, of course, trained by Joe Fazio, and Craig Trotter in his corner has the very, very talented Mick Canavan, a long-time mentor of Australian amateur champions, and a guy who's had a lot of success in the pros also.
Round two, Australian middleweight title fight, coming to you out of the Central Coast Leagues Club in Gosford in New South Wales. What a humdinger of a fight night tonight for boxing fans right around the nation. Thanks to Bill Morty's Classic Promotions and those great supporters of boxing, Tui's. Good left there by Cafaro, and off the ropes comes Craig Trotter.
Good right hand there by Luke Cafaro. Certainly there's a lot of female support for Craig Trotter right around the country. He really is sort of a renaissance man of boxing, a little bit like Donnie Lalonde was in the light heavyweight division. He's a good-looking guy that shows that not all boxers have broken noses, and gee, he's got quick hands, Craig Trotter.
He certainly has, and the mouthguard of Luke Cafaro is in the second row, landed right in the lap of a woman who's not going to put in the mouth or two. And I don't blame her.
Well, they'll be coming to get that with the metal tongs, I'd imagine, when this round's over.
Good punch from Craig Trotter that sent it straight over the top of the ropes and into the second row.
Well, he isn't phased though, Luke Cafaro. He's still walking up, still with that stoic expression on his face.
Finding the mark well, Craig Trotter. Youngster, big occasion for him tonight. Cafaro just seems to have the edge in power early in the fight.
Yeah, but Craig Trotter doing an excellent job of manoeuvring him around the ring. He's up on his toes. He's boxing very, very sweetly.
Certainly his good evasive action from young Trotter, but he's going to need to do that for a long time tonight.
Luke Cafaro's snapping in there with the right hand, but Craig Trotter coming straight back with quick hands. He's got to get out of those ropes, Craig Trotter, though. It's no use against a puncher like Luke Cafaro to stay on the ropes. There we see Trotter working away behind that left jab. Certainly that's the key to this fight for him. If he's going to win this fight, it'll be behind the left hand. Everything working behind that left hand.
Craig Trotter moving very well. The dancing feet of Craig Trotter tonight. Second round of this scheduled 12-round contest for the Australian middleweight title. To his fight night out of the Central Coast Leagues Club. A very special night for us at Sky Channel tonight. The Registered Clubs Association, they've got their annual meeting tomorrow here, and the top executives from all of the clubs throughout New South Wales here tonight to witness what is a memorable night for Australian boxing. Certainly the great art has really been to the fore on Sky Channel in 1989, and it will be as we move into the next decade. Two Australian champions, maybe young Troy Waters will become the third overseas on Saturday week. There's the end of round two, and a great ovation for both fighters at the end of their second round here of this Australian middleweight title contest.
Well, once again, I had Craig Trotter winning that round, so very, very close round. But I just felt that he boxed a little better than Luke Cafaro. He was content to make Luke Cafaro miss. He had Cafaro coming towards him, and he put together that nice little combination that deposited Luke Cafaro's mouthguard somewhere in the audience.
Certainly did. Let's have a look at the mouthguard and see if we can go. Oh, there it is, a left. And did you see it? Exit stage left with the mouthguard. Straight into the lap of a lovely looking lady in about second, third row back. But magnificent camera work there from the boys working here tonight from the Sky Channel team, and out with the mouthguard of Luke Cafaro.
They do a great job, the cameramen here at Sky Zorb. And right now, Craig Trotter's doing a great job himself. That uppercut, left hook, right hand was a beauty.
Certainly was. No bidders for the mouthguard of Luke Cafaro, and he's got it right back where it should be in his north and south.
Craig Trotter, of course, has the wonderful opportunity tonight to really sell himself. And, with his looks and with his charisma, he's got a huge future in boxing if he can put a national title under his belt and make it into the world ratings.
Certainly, but being good-looking doesn't help you when you get into the centre ring.
That's right. So far in these first 2 rounds, though, he's shown the boxing skills to go with his reputation as one of the real fancy dams of Australian boxing.
Gee, I think he's like a rattlesnake waiting to strike Lou Cafaro. He hits hard and he can take a punch. His record proves that. I like the look of Cafaro, and certainly I'm not downgrading at all young Craig Trotter. I think he's an outstanding prospect, but this is his moment of truth, and at 20 years of age, it's an awesome task that he's got ahead of him. We're in round 3, and this rough, tough competitor from Western Australia, Lou Cafaro, standing between Trotter and his dream of winning an Australian middleweight title.
Well, Cafaro throwing a lot and missing plenty so far in this fight, but gee, if one of those big left hooks or right hands lands, Craig Trotter's going to really know about it, because you just have to look at the body and the face of Lou Cafaro to tell that he can fight. Craig Trotter putting together a good right hand, though. He's catching Lou Cafaro plenty inside.
Good work by Craig Trotter. Midway through round 3, and he's starting to find the target a little bit more now, growing in confidence, knowing that he has landed plenty of good blows in the opening couple of rounds, and some good left-right combinations. Johnny Wright warns the young fellow from Ferntree Gully in Victoria, Craig Trotter, to keep them up.
Well, Cafaro pointing to his protector and looking across at referee Johnny Wright. He knows that he's in for a tough night here, because Craig Trotter is really boxing very, very neatly.
He's certainly loading up the right, isn't he, Cafaro? Almost telegraphing it, saying, here it is, it's loaded, and you're going to cop it.
Well, it hasn't landed too often so far in these opening 3 rounds, though, but it's early days yet, and Lou Cafaro has a reputation as a terrific puncher.
Certainly, and that right almost making the mark there. You've got to give it to Craig Trotter. His evasive work tonight, his footwork in particular, has been 10 out of 10 tonight for the kid. And again, just bobbing there, getting out of the way of the dangerous blows of Cafaro. Cafaro knowing that he's up against a very talented youngster right now.
Good right hand by Craig Trotter. Put together 4 or 5 stinging blows in a row. Very, very quick hands, and that right hand really shook Lou Cafaro. He knows he's in for a real championship night.
He certainly is. Good effort so far by Craig Trotter.
Cafaro trying to go to work with the combinations, but Craig Trotter just a bit too nimble on his feet.
Certainly is good evasive work with the legs and also with the body. Moving the body very well. Evading those power-packed punches of Lou Cafaro. 3 excellent rounds here in the Australian middleweight title fight, brought to you by Tui's on Sky Channel, and a marvellous night of boxing from Bill Morty's Classic Promotions on your fighting channel, Sky Channel.
I've got Craig Trotter boxing very, very well, Zor. I've given him those first 3 rounds, I tell you. There's not a lot in the fight so far, I feel, but Craig Trotter just boxing a little more neatly and making Lou Cafaro miss an awful lot.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the work of Craig Trotter. There's a very good left-right combination.
Good right hand by Craig Trotter. That really shook Lou Cafaro up, just as another right hand shook Cafaro up in the second round, and a right hand it was that shook Cafaro in the first round.
Yeah, very good combinations there by Craig Trotter. That's his best round of the fight, and not looking as composed is Lou Cafaro at the moment, the champion.
Well, Lou Cafaro may have come from Western Australia thinking that he was in with a guy whose biggest asset was his looks, but he's finding out that Craig Trotter also has an excellent jab and right hand.
Okay, so 3 rounds gone. We're into round 4 of the scheduled 12-round contest for the Australian middleweight title. There's Keese's card. After 3 rounds, Craig Trotter 30 to Cafaro's 27. So, according to Grantley Keeser, a real upset on the cards here, but a long way to go in this championship fight. So, 30 to 27, 3 rounds to 0, according to Grantley Keeser, in Lou Cafaro versus Craig Trotter.
Well, we've gone 1/4 of the way in the fight so far, Zorb, and as we're saying, Craig Trotter boxing very, very well, but you're always just a fraction of an inch away from danger with Lou Cafaro, because he is an excellent puncher. He's put away Doug Sam and Emmanuel Lotti, 2 very, very talented Queenslanders. Both guys fought for world championships, and that's exactly what Lou Cafaro wants to do. He wants to fight for a world title. Trotter constantly trying to wrong-foot Lou Cafaro. Throughout this fight, Cafaro has been the aggressor. He's been the guy chasing, but it's been Craig Trotter who's been outboxing.
Win, lose or draw from young Trotter tonight. Gee, we've got some outstanding young talent in Australian boxing at the moment, don't we, Keezer?
Yeah, there's some really excellent fighters around, Zorb. Ronald Du, the guy that's given Craig Trotter his 2 defeats. Great talent. We'll be seeing him up on the world title bill in Queensland next week on the Jeff Harding card, fighting Alex Tui. And, of course, Kevin Wagstar's going to fight the great Matthew Saad Muhammad. And Dale Artango, the brilliant young Queenslander, who was an outstanding amateur and was the Australian lightweight champion. He's making a comeback after his loss to Lester Ellis. And he's up against Rocky Piratini.